Hey everybody, Jeff here from Clearly Coastal. Today I want to go through how to service your Avet reel. So I have the Avet Raptor here. Really awesome reel I enjoy, 2-speed. I've used it for halibut and tuna, absolutely incredible. So getting ready for the new season, gotta service these up to make sure they work all year. So we're gonna go through that today. First off, gonna go through some of the things you're gonna wanna need. Got some oil and some grease here for them. You're also going to need a Phillips screwdriver and some Allen keys. So let's get into this right now. Okay, so the first thing you want to do here, take off this cap. Be careful, there's a spring inside of there. Then you can slide the lever off. Next thing I'm going to do here is take off the strike plate. There's little washers on the other side as well, so don't lose those. Okay. So that's off. The washers are still on. Okay, so now I'm going to continue taking off the outside bolts here. I'll just line them up over there. So you can see there's a little bit of corrosion on there, so definitely going to clean those up. Put some grease on them before I put it back together. This one's a little tighter too. Yeah, I can see some corrosion on this one as well. I did wash my reels off after every time out on the ocean, but salt water still finds its way everywhere. Not quite. There we go. So there's 4 of them there, plus the strike plate ones. Okay, so now this comes off. I'm gonna set that to the side. All right, so you can see here now, you can take that out. We're also gonna need to take off this so we can remove everything else underneath it. So this one's a little smaller of an Allen key than the previous ones. And again, you can see the corrosion built up right on there. So I'm gonna clean that up as well. Get a little grease on there. Put those in there so we don't lose them because they're really small. So yeah, there you go. Now I got the plates off. You can see the corrosion that little built up there, so let's wipe that all out. Okay, so now there's a spring, the drag plate here, so that comes out of the grooves. You can lift this drag plate out. There we go. So this, as you can see, has these knobs on the top, so you know that's how it needs to go down on there. So now I can take the whole piece out. I'll put that to the side. We'll clean this up first. So you can see it's fairly clean in there overall right now, but we'll give it a quick wipe down in there. Oh, there. I'll get my grease tube out. Put some grease in there. Now I'm going to want to spread that around. So I got a nice clean Q-tip here. Give it a good coat of grease in there. Help prevent any corrosion from getting on those pieces. Okay, so we got that. And give the strike, or this plate here, quick clean down. Set that to the side. Okay, so now I'm going to pull the spool back over. So as you can see, it just slides out. There's some bearings in there. First here though, I'll take this sleeve so you can see there's a bearing there. So all that slides in. The sleeve, I'm just going to put a little bit of oil on that. Spread that around, put the sleeve back over, and I'll get a little bit of oil on there. There we go. So on here you can see there's those 2 notches are inside there. That just slides in there. So there's a couple bearings in here. And then there's a couple washers in between. They're really small, so try not to misplace those. I'm just going to give a little oil there. Give this a wipe down as well. Put just a little bit of grease here. Spread that around. Just want that protective layer from the salt water. Clean that up a bit. Okay, so I'm going to put those 2 washers back in. Actually, to make it easier, so we're going to slide that in there. Now I can slide the 2 washers over top. Put the bearing. Nice thing with these bearings, there is no right or wrong way to put them on. They're both the same. They're both the same on each side, so you just slide it in. There you go, there's that. So now with the drag plate, just want to line it up with the grooves. Put this right back over top. And we got our spring that goes right there. So first thing you need to do when putting it back together is to remember this piece needs to go on first. So I'm just going to give that another quick wipe down. Still see some corrosion on there. And then I'm going to grab the 2 tiny little screws here. I'm going to put a little dab of grease on each one, on the hole for each one. Just give a nice little protection, again, from the corrosion. Probably going to be repeating myself with that, but when you're out fishing on the ocean, that is what you're dealing with. Okay, so let's tighten those back up. Okay, so those are on nice and snug. So now you have these gears here. I like to leave them up here because you can put them on backwards. So I'm just going to slide it on here. I'm going to wipe down with another Q-tip some of the old grease. Get some of that off. And then we're going to get the grease tube back. Get some nice new grease on there. Keep this all running nice and smooth, so it doesn't bind up on us when we're reeling those big halibut in, or the tuna, whatever you might be using yours for. Okay, so now I'll take this side here with the handle and everything on it. You can see the old grease. We're going to clean that out, wipe down some of this corrosion, give it a good little, pull this guy back out, just wipe in there. There, just there we go. Get some new grease on these gears. There we go. So there's some new fresh grease. Keep these things nice and lubed up. Okay, so now we'll put this back on. Okay, so there, everything's clicked into place. So I'm going to get these screws back in. So with the spring in there, you'll feel a little tension back, but just hold it in place. I'm gonna switch out my Allen key here again to the next size up. So I'm just going to get these started so I don't have to hold it down as much. Right. with everything back in place, I'm just going to put a little bit dab of grease in each of these holes. Again, just providing a little more. Okay, so I'm going to put a little dab of grease in each of these, just so when I bolt it back down, there's that little layer of protection again from the corrosion. Keep it nice and clean and running so they last a long time. So I'll just get them started here so I don't have to keep holding it down so tight with that spring pushing back on me. Okay, so I got 4 in and started, so I'll tighten them up here. Alright, so there we go. That's back on now. Now we'll deal with the strike plate. So again, remember those washers that go underneath, because one popped off when it was in my container. So try and line these up. That one started, the other washer's on, so it'll be easy to line up. They're on nice and tight. Okay, and when you put this back on, make sure it's over the strike plate. You'll see there's these 3 notches here, and they line up on the inside of the lever. So you can see here that's in there. Now we'll tighten the drag. So we have the lever on here now. I'm just going to give a little bit of new grease here as well. It's pretty clean still, but from the last stuff. A little bit in here. Another spring. Now we'll pop this back on. Alright. Let's give it a couple. Turn that clicker off. There we go. Work the grease into the gears there. And she's back together. Okay, so as you saw, that's just a quick oil and greasing of your Avet reel. So the Raptor here, I did my LXs as well. A little more simple than the Raptor, but still very similar. So you could probably use this video for your other styles of reels. As you can see, I got it back on the rod here now and ready to go out and do some fishing and get some nice big halibut and some tuna in the fall. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.